Hello, YouTube. Today I'm here to finish my first part of my AOZ Tr-6's Woundwort and Hazel 2 kits. I know it's been a little while since my boxing vid, and I apologize for the waits. I try to take my time when I come to building stuff, so well, let's get to the point. Today we're going to be reviewing these two guys. Now, before I start reviewing, you might all realize something's really odd about this setup you're looking at. As you can see, this is the Hazel 2 high grade, but you're probably wondering, why is the Woundwort so much bigger than that Hazel all of a sudden? Well, I decided to have a little fun, and because I had this in my collection, you're looking at the Master Grade 1.0 Woundwort, not by Bandai. This was a third-party company called, I believe it was called Cut Cube, something like that. But unfortunately, by the name and the number I just gave as into being a 1.0, it's not, well, up to normal Master Grade standards in a sense. It's not a bad kit, but it's could be improved. Let's just put it that way. It could definitely be improved. I enjoyed building it, but there were flaws to it. I wish they could have done much better. Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. But honestly, I just wanted to put this in there with here for fun. You know, try to lighten the mood. So let me just take him out of the way, so that way we can get to the real Woundwort, and that would be this guy right here. Okay. And as you can see, this is the high grade Woundwort. Now, of course, if you don't already know this, these are both P Bandai. You have to pay, and they both came out separately, different waves, I believe. The Hazel 2, I know, was like in the last year or two came out. The Woundwort was before that. And if you're wondering right now, will you have extra parts between these guys? For the Woundwort, you're only going to have the transformable parts needed. As you can see, as I see here, I tried to put all the parts out so you can all see. But the Hazel 2, on the other hand, you will have extra parts. That I can tell you right now. You will have extra parts left over. Now, the one thing I do want to say right off the bat, I'm quite surprised how well the Woundwort's mold can actually stand on its own without a stand. Now, that might sound a little hypocritical, being that I have the Hazel 2 on a stand, but there's a good reason. But I'll get to that soon. For now, I want to go over like the parts first so you can all see. Because for the Woundwort, you don't get as many extras or just parts in general as the Hazel here. But what you do get extra of, which is a bit surprising, is you get two of these. You get two simple stands. Same exact one that the Hazel 2 has. I didn't put any together for the Woundwort because, like I said, I was impressed how he stands so well. So I just figured, why not leave him standing so you can see. But what you do get are 4 sets of hands. You get 2 open hands waving at you. Hi. And you get your open fists for weapon holding. But what's unique about these is that these are actually articulated wrists. Sorry about that. Fully articulated. Both sets, including the fist. They're all articulated. They're like those Build Fighter ones, but except you don't get a ballpoint in this, as you can see here. They're just pegs, surprisingly enough. So if you wanted to use these hands in other spots on your kits, you would need to make sure that hole for the hand can accommodate these pegs. Because if it doesn't, I'm afraid, there's only so many kits that you can use this with, unless you modify it. Now you get these, you get 2 of these. These are fins. They're really nothing much for right now when you have them in his bot mode, but you do need them when you want to transform him into his mobile armor mode. And as you can see here, these are just claws separately put together. Sorry if it don't look good right now. I'm trying to hold them both together so you can see them. This is a part you'll need for his rifle transformation ability, because sadly this is a parts former. If you thought this could transform without parts formation, sadly, no. This needs parts extras, like I stated. And In fact, here's pretty much the replacement for the upper body. Lily, you have to remove his entire upper body, head included, and just remove his arms and the waist section entirely, and combine those parts with this to make the mobile armor part. And now over to the Woundwort. Just as with the Woundwort, the Hazel 2 is no different. You still get the 2 fins you need. You still get the 2 claw. You get an extra set of claw parts for the crow mode of his rifle. See? You get 2 of these. Yeah, darn. I should have it stay standing. Okay. Now, you do get other parts, though. Like this. This part you do get with the Woundwort. But in this kit, you'll get double that because of, well, double the rifle. This is the part that connects onto the shoulder of both the Woundwort and the Hazel 2 to connect it for the crow attack. So, as you can see, it is fully articulated. So it can bend over the shoulder. And even this is fully articulated, just, you know. And this is the peg section for other things. And like I stated, you'll get 2 of those. You can see. And just as the Woundwort, you do get the same hands, as you can see here. Now, I painted the red onto these guys. You're not going to get that much red plastic for them. Sadly enough, they don't come with a lot except for the headpiece for like the chin and such, and his crest piece right there. Those are the only real red pieces. And these guys actually do need red on them for detailing wise, so you know. But the only and now back to the parts. Now this is part of the original Woundwort's cockpit section, as you can see here. This is the bottom half. But the difference with the Hazel 2 is you don't need the top half actually. But still you do get it, as you can see here. And of course I painted it as best I could. Now this will be a complete extra part. You don't need it for the kit. You can just have it extra. If you want to use it on your Woundwort, sure, go ahead. Or any other variants of the Tr-6 that come out that you can use it with, go ahead. Now, yes, you will get other spare parts too. And let's go through those right now. You get these wing bits that are on the back of the Woundwort. As you can see right there. You get 2, pretty much these are just scrap parts now, you know, because sadly you don't get enough extra parts from the Woundwort and the Hazel 2 to actually give you the full back part, which I'll show you in a second. But first, let me show you these parts. I'm going to get to these little parts too. These are cover parts you put on the waist section of both kits. Now now you're wondering why you got these here when you have the Hazel right there. Well, the different reason why is because with the Hazel you actually get another set of white ones of these parts you see here that do come with the Woundwort, but you get here as well when it comes with your shield parts. So these are just the extra ones that originally came for the original runner, like of the Woundworts. So this is just a recolored variant. If you wanted to, you know, put them on either or, you can, you know, just extra fun stuff. Now this is the back part that you get with the Woundwort, complete everything right there. Now the only part you don't get that pretty much makes this part useless to you is the inside part here. There's a purple inner frame piece that you'd have to put in here that connects the wing bits and this piece. Without it, these are just scrap parts. So if you want to make a custom colored variant with your Woundwort and such, you can just take the cover off the Woundwort's original white variant and, you know, scratch, build with this, paint it, etc., detail it, you know, or have extra part, you know, if anything happens. So that's one decent thing. So these, but for now, they're just scratch parts. Same with this, as I stated. Let's just move these out of the way now. Now you do get other components with the Hazel that you don't get with the Woundwort. And that these two are one of them. These are covers you put on the ends of the rifle bits. Reason I'm not sure why, and and probably be in the design reason for the Hazel 2. So I'm not 100% sure. This, I believe, is another connecting piece, either to a stand or another part of the Hazel 2. I'm not 100%. But I can tell you that they do both have the same transformation setup, minus, well, how his back part looks to the Hazel's. But they do both use the same crow weapon formation, which is their rifle transformations. And here's another piece. This looks like a claw piece, so I believe this will be used for his weapons, or for his mobile armor mode, I believe. Now, okay. Now that we got those out of the way, why don't we go to the main events? That's the Woundwort. As you've seen, he's very unique for a high grade. Pretty much, I've never built a high grade like these guys before. They're very unique in their designs. I'll give them that. Now, you do have to do some paint work on them if you want to make them look good. Pretty much the yellow on the rifle and these parts down here you need to paint. Now, you do see there's some red in there, but that was from my paint work. Like I said, you do need to do paint for that. Same with the ends of these bits here. Not bits, shoulder armor. My bad. Okay, let's see. Now, is this guy good articulation-wise? It's not bad. No, it's very unique, actually. I've never had a kit with arms like this. See? See? Doesn't even have a normal elbow. It's the almost like a reverse elbow. And you could do that with him. But he does have full articulation, see? You can bend it out in both ways in this case. Make him look tough. Now he does have head articulation, see? You gotta be careful though with the fins on the back of his head though. They will bump into his shoulder armor and such. He does have leg articulation. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Let's see, and shoulder. And he even has a bend there and waist bend. You can move his leg pretty far, pretty much. Now, of course, and he even has, as you can see by this heel, you can fold it in. And for his transformation, see, you can bend his leg all the way in. So, that's for, now as I said, that's for transformation and for other reasons. I will try to get to that in the end. Now, of course, it's a little bit of a pain to pull those back out, but not by much. Now, yes, here's the butt. It does fold all the way down if you want. You can pull it all the way out. Now, it doesn't really do much else other than that. The Hazel's a little more articulated. Now, the one flaw I will tell you right now is this crotch piece. As you can see. I won't say that's a good thing, it's a flaw. It does not connect. I don't think it's a secure connection way. I'm going to try to show you it. Right there. That's where you got to connect it to. Now, you think it'd be easy, but it says, now as you see, there's a part right there that you should connect it to, that I would think you would connect it to, but you're actually supposed to connect it up here where my thumb is. Right up there. And there's just a little tab. An indent right there that's supposed to connect it into. It's okay. It stays well enough unless you push on it. Then it will come out, as you just saw me do. But here, let me put him down so you can all see one other thing. This does have articulation too. Not like a huge amount, but articulation. Now, the one thing this has that I believe is for both transformation and weapon reasons, it has a mini arm. Now, sadly, as you can see, it does not bend out all the way. It just doesn't. This is as far as it goes, sadly. It would have been cooler if it could bend or turn, but no. This is as far as it goes. As I stated, as you can see how it looks. Let's see if I can get it back on him without it coming off again, hopefully. Alright. Oh, nope. Gotta hit that on. And as I stated, he has waist articulation. Now, does the gun make it heavy? Yeah, it does make him a little heavy, not by much. He actually can still stand with it, as you saw. And as I stated, he does have wrists. Now let me put him down for a second so I can get over to the Hazel. Now the one thing you got to do for him though is you got to hold down his feet so he'll stand, so that they're fully deployed, because if not then he will fall. Okay, now that he's back standing, let's get the Hazel here out. Now as you can see, I had to put him on his stand due to his extra bulk, let's call it. As you can see, he comes with 2 of the rifles that the Woundwort comes with. It can move. These can move because they're on a peg setup. You can see individually they can move. They can't really move in or out though. They're limited. But as you can see, now let me show you the difference between the Woundwort and the Hazel, because pretty much besides the extra weapons, this is the main difference between the two of them. And one reason is this actually has a hidden weapon. It's a hidden cannon. And this is fully bendable, just as the Woundworts. See? You could have them like that. And yes, as you can see, you do get a rifle with him. And a shield. As I said, this white part is the runner you'll get for the middle parts in there, if you can see it. Now, is his articulation any different than the Woundworts? No. It's all the same. Still transforms. As I said, it transforms a little bit differently because of those separate parts in the backpack setup. Now, okay, I don't want him to fall down on me. Now, yeah, as I stated, the rifles can transform and such. In fact, I'm going to stop the video for a second so I can transform the Woundworts for you, because I really want to go through doubling it when I could just do it once. So if you'll excuse me for a sec. Okay, sorry it took me a minute, but now as you can see here, I have the Woundwort set up now with the arm attachment, and here I'll show that to you. As you can see, it attaches onto the shoulder. Now you might be looking at this and saying, wait, why isn't that pushed in all the way? This is actually how far it goes in. That is how far it goes. Now I left this peg part in here. Really, you're supposed to take that out because there's another piece behind it that you connect the wire to, which, you know, I just leave it as, because I'm not going to keep them in this formation right now. I'm just going to pretty much leave it at this, because transform it back, but I wanted to show you all it so you can see. But I decided to give him his attack hand to make it look like the wire's coming, because this is where you're supposed to connect the wire part to, but they don't give you a lot of wire, so there's almost no point to putting it. See, this is literally as long as I can get it. I mean, I'll try to even show you. That's the length of what you get, and pretty much it's supposed to just feed into the part back here. I'll try to demonstrate. See, and that's pretty much as far as you're going to get. So your crow unit, as it's called, would be about this far out, unless you use longer. So, but here, let's put him down. Now, as I stated, this is a parts former, so you now have, if you decide to keep it in a crow mode, you'd have these 2 parts left over, which goes underneath the rifle, which would be the leg parts, sadly, that don't transform. And of course, the rifle blade itself. As you can see, it's just one little peg. Now these parts are just one solid piece. I just painted this as best I could to match its colors, so it looked more accurate. As you can see, onto the crow. And yes, that's the name of this. I'm not sure why it's called that. Ooh, reflective. Ooh. Sorry about that. Just make sure. Okay. As you can see, does it have articulation now? Not by... No, it doesn't. It just doesn't, honestly. The legs are all stationary, as you can see here. You just turn, you just take the armor parts off this part here, and you add them onto here, and the same for the Hazel 2s as well. The only thing really articulated is this camera scope. It's up and down, up and down. As you can see, it's that's the parts you plug it into, and such like that. But it does look pretty cool. And like I said, if you had a long enough cord, you can make them, it would literally just look like this, which is one reason I think they gave you an extra stand, because here, just for fun. Why don't we take a look? Okay, let's just put this little part together real quick. And, oops, that would be stupid. Okay, you put it like that, simple stand. And let's put it out this way. Now let's pretend it's been released. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Wait, I think I know it's wrong. Oh, that's right. Okay. Pretty much this is what your setup would look like. You'd have the Woundwort, or Hazel in this case. You'd have him like that. The cord would stretch all the way out to him. Because you'd use the special peg that I left in there, plug it into here in the core, and the wire would extend from this end to that end, and there you go. You got your funnel, drone, and attack unit, or as it's called, the crow. Which, I mean, it's it's cool sounding. Now, let's move. Now the same will be said for him as well. He gets all the parts to do the same thing. But I really, like I said, I didn't want to do that for him because it's just the same exact transformation. So I figured just do it once so you can all see it and understand that it is as you see and what you need for it and how it works. And like I said, this one little wire to do it all with. Or in his case, you'll get two, but they're both the same exact length, so it's not going to be that far off. So, but for right now, what we can do is let's put the woodwork back here. Same with the crow. Now I am going to do a transformation setup for you guys too. I want to show it all off. So what I will do is this. I once again pause the video, and this time I will use the Hazel 2 to do the transformation show off. So that way you can all see what's the difference, or at least see what they both look similar to each other. Because I figured let him do the crow and I'll let him do the mobile armor. Okay. Okay, one second. Okay. Sorry about that. It took me a minute to put this guy together. Now, as you can see here, if you can see him, I hope you can, this is the full armor mode for the Hazel 2. Now, unfortunately for mine, it seems really weak at this joint. It doesn't want to stay. But as I stated, you will be using all those most of those extra parts for adapters for things, like for the gun. And as I stated, you don't need the body. The same goes for the Woundwort. You just don't need all the extra adapters you get with him. And as you can see, there's how his gun gets mounted. There's one of the adapters. Another one is back here, but I don't think you'll be able to see it too well. And as I stated, those parts are for the end. You plug up the small bit, you plug up the ends of the rifle to make those. And as I stated, that's the mobile armor for the Hazel 2. Now, like I said, the Woundworts would pretty much be the same, minus all the extra adapters and such. Because trust me, this guy is a bit shaky, honestly. I fear that if he dropped, he would fall apart, in a sense. So I'm telling you that now. Because this adapter for the gun doesn't like to hold. It literally doesn't. If you have it upside down, the gun will fall right out. I've just had that problem now. Now, is there a way to counter the balance? Not 100%. I doubt it. It's just heavy pretty much because of these up here. They're pushing it back, so, unless you glue it or tighten up that joint section. Yeah, it's not gonna stay too well, but it'll still look nice, And as I stated, the Woundwort does the same, but I was wrong on one detail. I didn't realize this until after the transformation. You won't have that other head section of the plastic like this part that I painted, left over for the Hazel. You'll actually have the bottom part left over, as you can see here. I got it confused when I looked at the instructions. My bad. But what you do is you take this top half, put the arms back on it like you would do for this part version, but instead of putting it on top like that one would be, this one goes underneath this section here. That's the difference. Because this one, I believe, just plugs into his back end, to his butt flap, I guess you can call it, and then hides underneath there pretty much with the arms on the side like his. But in this case, this one, if I could take this off, yeah, like that. It's pretty much that in his color underneath, arms and shoulder, right there. This back together. As I said, I would show you the transformation for that, but I figured, I'll show the bigger version off more because it's bigger and better in some cases. Now, as for stickers and such, if you're wondering, you do, like I showed in my unboxing, you do get these. And for me, you would get these if you didn't paint it like I did. Which, well, I pretty much painted. The one decent thing is, for the Hazel 2, you don't really need these stickers right here. These big long ones, you don't really need them because the blade is pretty much in the color of this. It's a little darker, but if you look up normal artwork and such on the Hazel 2, and even the prototype releases for the release, none of them were painted. They were exactly as you see here. So I left mine like that because it looked just like it was supposed to. I painted the Woundworts because it needed that. But other than that, pretty much everything else you see right here is the wood that these two both have. Minus all these, I think, no, yeah, the Hazel has a few more of these little scope ones. And, no, these are about the same. Alright. And as I stated before, you'll get a bunch of scratch parts with this guy. And let's see. Let's move him out of the way. Hopefully he doesn't fall. Okay. Now, if you're curious about how much these go for, pretty much you're going to be paying about, well, let's see, I paid about that. So maybe about 40 at the lowest point, and I'd say up to 60 for the regular, at least for the normal price for these, maybe, if you're lucky. If not, you're probably going to be paying more. Because the fact is, these two have been out for a while. In fact, like I said, I think he's been reissued once. I don't know about the Hazel 2 offhand. I don't think so. If it has, probably the same amount. The AOZ kits don't really get too many re-releases. Or in this case, reissues for the P Bandai line. For the regular ones, you get like the Hazel, Advanced Hazel, and the regular Hazel 2, not the Tr-6 version, the Tr-1. Those you can find normally. But for these guys, though, for the Woundworts, these guys have a kit bashing gimmick that pretty much all the Advance of Zeta kits have. But you need the special premium Bandai Hazel TR1s, Hazel, just regular Hazel, and I believe it's Advanced Hazel. Because those two come with special runners that have parts that go on for his legs, once you fold them up like that, that connect together That pretty much gives you knee joints for regular legs and such, and also other joints for other sections of the body. Now I don't know entirely which parts because I have the Hazel and the parts needed to do that. So once I get to that build, I will show you what it shows me. But today I wanted to get more in depth with these two for now. And like I said, this is the first part to my two-part setup, because the next part and review I will be doing will be of the parts that specifically go on the Woundwort or Hazel 2, because it's designed, and that is the Hiruduru 2 set. Now, for those, and as you can obviously see in that picture. Now, if you're wondering, do you have all the parts needed for this to make that picture you're seeing? No, you need two. That's another thing to mention, as well as I will mention right now. If you're looking for the Hazel or Woundwort in this case, there's a possible chance you will end up finding bundle deals for this or this with two Hiruduru sets. Now, if you did it that route, as into buying that many, you'd probably be paying close to $80 and maybe $100, depending on where you buy from. So, I mean, I got lucky when I got these guys for what prices I got them for. So, you know, if that helps. Now to put this all summaries wise, do I recommend these guys? I mean, yeah, definitely. These are unique kits. They're not like regular high grades, Universal Century wise. They're very unique. Sure, they're parts formers, but not by much. They're not terrible. I mean, no, they're not terrible. No, they're unique. I like that. And you got very unique special weapons, as you can see here. I'm gonna get you. Spider attack. Or should I say crow attack? Now, and like I said, these guys have great kit bashing opportunity because that's pretty much the AOZ's line gimmick. A lot of their main mobile suits, the Woundwort, the Hazel, and there's a few I don't know if the Hazen they has that gimmick, but pretty much like this headpiece you see here on the Hazel 2, I believe comes in with the Hazen they kit, Titan's color version. I don't know about the latest one. That does come with, I believe, the Primrose parts or the Hiruduru 2 parts. I know, no, it's the Hiruduru 2 parts. Yeah, that's correct. If you get the Hazen they 2, I believe it is, or you could just call it the AEU colors, or simply put the most expensive one. You get the exact same Hiruduru 2 set parts in that one. I don't think you get duplicates. I think you just get one, and that's in that kit. So if you need to know. Now I know and also so you know, these two aren't the only ones in the line of AOZ kits. There actually is going to be another one coming up. It's called the Kihar. I'm sorry if I butchered that, my bad. But it's the exact same mold as these two, but with a different headpiece section. It's got a whole new big bulky armor for its head and such, and its transformation is a bit different. I mean, it still probably transforms like these two, but its armor, it looks a lot different though when it's in its mobile armor mode comparison wise. And I believe that kit, unless USA P Bandai gets it, you're gonna be paying about $40 to $60 for it, and that's the truth. Because they also have another Hazen. It's a smaller version to its bigger counterparts, but it's still going to cost you about the same. So everyone knows. Now, have there been any other reissues for these guys, or any announcements of any? Not yet. I can't say there won't though. There's a good possibility when they start doing other big kits from the AOZ line, because I know I've seen the big ones, and trust me, they're big. I mean, if this Hazen 2, I believe it's called, is big, there are bigger ones than that one alone in the Advance of Zeta verse, in the universe of Advance of Zeta, let's put it that way. Now, do I recommend these guys? Simply, yes. If you want a unique Universal Century kit, you want Titan and AU color schemes, and if you're a fan of P Bandai and such, and if you're a big fan of Advance of Zeta, yes, go for them. They're fun. They're unique. You just need to do a little paint work like I showed you, like I showed with the red and a little bit of the yellow, and then it'll look great. And other than that, now there's one other thing I should mention. For the Woundwort, there's a special V-fin out there that if you see it and look it up, it's artwork style. There's a special V-fin that gives you an angel, I believe, cross on it. Like, I don't know what it's called offhand. I really don't. I should have looked that up, but it's my fault. Like, it looks like an angel piece that you can put on the high grade. But right now, there's only a resin version of it. That's one you gotta paint pretty much and put on or glue on. I don't know. I haven't gotten it. If I can get my hands on it though, I will show you it so you can all see what it is. So I do thank you though for everyone that has watched. I hope this helps in a lot of ways. Now, do I say if there's any good place to get these two? Right now, proxy sites, maybe Hobby Link Japan, maybe I would say like eBay. Definitely check eBay because you can get bundles and deals there. That's pretty much how I got him and my Haruru sets. So, you can try there. But then this simply, I thank you all for coming. I hope you're all safe and staying clean and staying with your family and enjoying your hobby as I do. And I hope you all have a great day and thank you for coming. Good day.